Sound check, sound check. Hello,
Uh,
hello.
hey Juan, GM.
Hey, can you hear me? GM, GM.
Yeah. No, I was muted. How's it going?
Doing great. I mean, we are very close to launching our smart vaults with delegation to Vaulter. We have some big announcements coming early next week. So we're very excited about this streaming from today. We're going to be covering some very cool subjects. How to stake Bitcoin layer one was covered in our first session. We went on a deep dive on how the staking layer one works on Core DAO. Then we also went and did a deep live with Eli from the Leap Protocol decentralized key network that powered the smart vaults. How you can check everything on chain, how we're building in the open, and how we are leveraging that amazing technology from lit to spawn smart vaults into existence and make all these cool things, starting core DAO and moving into more EVM chains. So I'm pretty excited, Alejandro. We have a lot of work ahead. I don't know, man. What do you think?
Yeah, no,
Um,
very excited to wrap things up. We are going piece by piece, right? So I think we don't have like slides or an agenda. We're just going to walk through some of the use cases and the actual application. So let me uh, switch the view here so that you can start with your thing.
sure. All right. So let's share screen over here. All right.
Okay, let me maximize this.
Okay.
Maximize. Okay, it is maximized. You can see your desktop now.
Okay, amazing. All right, guys. So we have a very short agenda. It's short because we're going to be covering a lot. And this is, again, Volter Bitcoin Demo Series number 3. Stake Bitcoin Layer 1, get liquidity in Core and USDC. So we're going to start with Core, of course, and how to stake Bitcoin and use it as collateral. As you guys know, on Core, you can stake your Bitcoin on Layer 1 from a smart vault, but during the time that you stake it, uh, time lock, check block time verify applies. And if you stake for, let's say, I don't know, 90 days, and you need some way to leverage that stake Bitcoin on layer one using that time lock before the ready time of your staking, you can do it with Vault Layer, with that Bitcoin staked on a smart vault, because smart vaults are unlocked from an NFT. So if you're a staker, that's the way that you get on Vault Layer to leverage your stake position. And of course, on the other side, if you are a lender, you want to provide some yield, you can air more core for staking through VLT Core, and of course, get Bitcoin on discount in case of default by some staker that use its Bitcoin on its smart vault. And next, we are going to show you how that same peer-to-peer lending on Ball Layers marketplace can happen on one of the big EVMs. We're going to start with Arbitrum, and how, if you're coming from the Arbitrum ecosystem, you have some ETH on ARB, some USDC. You basically get exposure to Bitcoin staked on layer one, where you can also use it as collateral if you want. We're not talking RAT BTC. We're not talking Bridgets here, guys. It's purely Bitcoin staked on layer one. And of course, on the other side, if you want to do some DeFi, you want to provide some liquidity, of someone with a smart vault with Bitcoin layer 1 on Arbitrum, you can also do it and get access to that discounted BTC. So that's our basic agenda for today.
Awesome. You forgot this is not financial advice.
Yeah, big warning there. I think we will just add that to the streaming at the end. And thank you guys. I see the more people joining the streaming. So thanks a lot for those who have joined us at this time of the day. I know there were some conflicts with other events from the ecosystem. So truly appreciate you guys joining us for this demo. And as Valerio said, not financial advice, do your own research. But yeah, we think this is very cool. So let's just get into it, guys.
We are not saying this is a Bitcoin bank. We are not saying that.
All right. Okay, so I'm going to switch to.
We're also not going to say we found an infinite money printing machine. We will never say that.
Never ever. All right, guys. So when you go to beta.volayer.xyz, again, beta's closed, but it's soon to be open. So keep an eye on our socials. We're gonna be doing some announcements around opening this, so you guys can start taking some advantage of all the cool things we built for you. When we get to beta.volayer.xyz, I get here on the landing page some VLT Core protocol starts. We covered that on the first session. VLT Core, it's our protocol for aggregating rewards on Core DAO. And here, as you can see, I'm connected to the Core DAO chain. So I have some test smart vaults here, and I'm going to click on this one, Liquid Smart Vault 1. Remember, if you don't have a smart vault, you can always go ahead and mint one. And this one, it's very interesting because as we saw in previous sessions, I can verify on-chain everything about this smart vaults. But this one is special because it already has some staked Bitcoin on layer 1, and it has some pending rewards, some pending VLT Core rewards from that staking. If I scroll down, I'll see that I have some staked Bitcoin. Actually, one, it's ready for redeem. Two more are going to expire later today. But let's say I'm happy with these rewards. This is, I don't know, about what to about $300 for today. I'm in a hurry. I need some liquidity, and instead of 3 hours, this has 3 days or 3 days left, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna click here. I know you guys want us to go through delegate to vault trading. We'll be doing more of these demos later, but today we're going to focus on how to leverage the liquidity of the smart vaults on Vault Layer's peer-to-peer market. So I'm gonna click here and use as collateral. I'm going to go through the risk disclaimer. This is beta, again, NFA, do your research, aggregate, click and continue. And let's say I want to request, I don't know, let's say I want to request about 25 VLT Core to get out of my hurry. I don't want to pay too much interest, so I'm going to request 100% APR to whatever lender on the other side provides me with this 25 VLT Core. I see that this vault, this smart vault, holds about 0.003 Bitcoin. One loan just for 1 day. I have the option to ask for a loan for 1, 3, 15, 30 days. Or if I want to sell it, we also have that option. If I click sell, that means I won't be repaying this. It's not a loan, but it's more of a sell, because whatever bid is made on the other side that I accept means that I'm transferring this smart vault. But let's say I just want to get some liquidity for 1 day. I'm going to click list. Very important. I should have on my wallet here. I'm going to confirm this withdraw permissions. and I need to have some core, because core is going to be the gas token. This is very important. Most of you already know this, but we like to go through over again. And all right, it says successful transaction. My loan request, my listing of my smart vault with this um, point BTC as collateral, it's live. I can go here and check on the Core DAO chain scan all the details about this transaction. And I'm just going to close this window. And if I go to the Smart Vaults portfolio, I won't I won't be able to see this Smart Vault in my portfolio because it moved to the peer-to-peer lending market escrow. All right. So on the other side, what happens? Let's say I'm a lender. So I have some spare VLT core that I want to use. So I can come here, and this is another browser, another wallet. And I'm going to click on the peer-to-peer lending market. I'm gonna give it some seconds, about a minute. So the most recent lendings and listings appear. If you guys recall, that was Liquid Smart Vault 1. So once that one shows over here, I'm gonna be able to offer some liquidity. And again, me as a lender, maybe I have some spare core. I converted it to VLT core from a Smart Vault, and then I want to know what else can I do with that VLT core. So I can come here to the peer-to-peer lending market and just go through the many listings and provide some VLT core. Okay, I clicked refresh again. So let's give it a minute. And if you guys want to verify the where that the previous Smart Vault went, you can always check on the URL of the Smart Vault from the the peer-to-peer lending V2 link or the Smart Vaults portfolio, and there you will see all the information, including what is the EOA, the external owning address for that Smart Vault. You will be able to see if it just holds Bitcoin, if that Bitcoin it's staked, which, as a matter of good practices, is what you should do to when you're providing liquidity. You should check everything on chain. Yeah, this is taking a little bit longer, but let's be patient.
What did you just this one listed on Cortal?
Yeah, we are starting with the listening core DAO. So
Okay, let me confirm if I see it. And that was the number, what?
that was number one.
Number one.
Liquid Smart Vault number
Yeah,
one.
I,
Yes,
I can see it.
you can. All right, so maybe something with my browser.
So you
Uh,
did the um, lender, the borrower part,
yes,
right? And then you switch to the other browser where you're going to show the um, lender.
the lending side. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Maybe I can be the lending side. So let
Yeah,
me.
sure. Let me stop sharing, and that'll be cool. Yeah, I asked for 20 VLT core, so 25. So make sure you have 20 VLT
I
core
don't
on
think I
your.
have that many.
No worries. Just
Let me do it.
okay.
Just let me know if you see my screen.
Okay, it's loading. It's Web3, guys. Bear with us.
I
Yeah,
mean that's
I
the
can.
whole point, right? So, what?
Yeah, there it is.
So I
Liquid
have to
Smart
do. I have
Liquids.
to check
You
if I
can.
have core, if I have VLT core,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't think I have. I have just one, just the one. But I can send. I'm gonna send my other wallet, which I already have some VLT core. Man, why did you ask for so many VLT core?
Yeah, yeah, we're going to do this with just one or two for demo purposes, but since this one holds real Bitcoin on layer one, I just wanted to do. And guys, always remember, you know what? I can share screen again. I have it. It took a
Okay.
while. I
Yeah, I
just
don't have so
refreshed.
much.
Okay, no worries. All right, so let me get back here, and I'm going to share my screen again. Mm-hmm.
So are you using different browsers for the borrower and lender? One
Yeah,
is
yeah,
Chrome and
yeah.
the other one is WhatsApp, right?
Yes, OKX. It's the lending side, and thank you, Alejandro, that you had mentioned that. And if you guys remember, the the um, the borrow request was done from Chrome from this account that ends in EB5. So we are doing now the lending side on OKX. In OKX, guys, it's very important that you also check whenever you change your EVM network from here, that you also check that you're connected, because there are some wallets, and OKX is one of them. They don't automatically switch you. All right, so here I have a new loan, which is inactive. Where did it go? Yeah, inactive loans. This is the smart vault that I just listed from MetaMask, Liquid Smart Vault 1. If I click here, guys, you will see the details about the smart vault. If you want to double check that, it's always recommended to do it. Here I can see the loan amount, which is 25 VLT core, exactly what I place, the APR that the borrower is willing to pay, and the loan duration. Current status listed, so I'm just going to click in bid to lend. Yes, I'm going to lend 25 VLT core. Since this works as a reverse auction for that bid offer, I want to be the most competitive lender. So I'm going to offer a 90%, which is very favorable. It's more favorable to the borrower because he or she are going to pay less interest. Let's be generous. Let's offer them 50%. And I'm going to click on place bid. Once I click on place bid, I should get a request here in my wallet. In the case of OKX, as you guys know, you need to approve for every site the limit that you want to set. I'm going to send it to max. I have about 44 VLT core over here. And then I'm going to confirm the transaction so I can send that 25 VLT core to the escrow. And again, this was a successful transaction that we can check on the CoreDAO scan. I'm going to close this window. And the next step on the borrower side, it's just once I have one or more bids. Actually, I always get the best bid. We built this so borrowers can always get the best bid. And it can even be zero, guys, which will be effectively more like a sale. Where did my window went? Here it is. So if I go back to my MetaMask account on this Chrome browser, remember, guys, this was the borrower EB5. I will now see this on the borrower list that I have a loan ID 6, the Liquid Smart Vault number 1, for which I requested 25 VLT core. I can cancel the loan if I change my mind. You always have that option. Or I can accept the loan. So let's just click on accept to show you guys how that works. Here will show me you'll need to repay 25.53 BLT core. And of course, failure to repay will result in losing the Smart Vault, the NFT
Yeah,
flag.
and I think it's worth to mention. So why did we did it like this reverse auction? I think it's because like we are seeing here is the less amount of steps required to have the loan started. Because in other peer-to-peer lending markets, you have to start chatting with the lender side, get an agreement before you start the lend, and it's a back and forth, and it can never end, right? So with this reverse auction feature, we are minimizing the number of steps for getting an effective loan started. It's always to the uh, lender that beats the less interest. So it's best for both parties.
Exactly. So let's click on confirm. And here I'm going to get a transaction request. I'm going to check the network feed. Looks fine. And a very important thing to mention is that we have a flat 2% platform fee, which it's included in here. It's all um, very easy, guys. It's just a couple of clicks. You always get the best offer. It's a flat fee rate, so there's no confusion there. And here it is. If I go again to the peer-to-peer lending market V2, I'm going to see that I have borrowed for Liquid Smart Vault number one that holds 0.003 Bitcoin, and for which I got a loan for 25 VLT core and an interest of 50% APR, the best I got from that bidder. It is in a status accepted, and this one is the key part. You should keep an eye on the expiration time, because before the next 23 hours and 57 minutes, I need to click on this button. Need to make sure that I have enough VLT core to cover for what I requested. You know,
Okay, but let's stand back a moment. So what you do? You started with a marble that had some stake Bitcoin, that had
and
some
some
rewards
VLT core
pending,
rewards.
and you needed liquidity before the time of the staking, or just
Cor-
because you didn't want to sell your Bitcoin and you just wanted to get a quick loan. So you went to the market, you create a loan request, and then
Correct.
some borrower, which is already getting yield from core, staking it to ELT core, but they want to win more yield on top of ELT core, right? So they provide the
Yes.
liquidity. They're gonna get their uh, repayment with interest, which is great because they get more core
Mhm.
or BRT core. And if they default, they get all the assets in the vault, right?
Yes, that's how it works. That's how a lend borrow market works. And it's peer to peer. So it's over the counter. It's also another way to refer to it. Everything happens on chain through the contracts that the market is built on top of. Yeah, that's the whole flow about the initial loan request for liquidity in BLT Core, then how the lender bids, and always the best offer is the one that the borrower gets to accept, which is what I did. I selected that one with 50% APR for this 25 BLT core, and I'm going to click on repay now so I can get my Smart Vault
Okay.
back.
So before you do that, so there's three things we could see right now, right? That we could see the
Mhm.
repayment. We could also see uh, that it they don't repay, and the borrower, sorry, the lender gets the NFT. That will be if we do it with zero time, right? Zero
Mm-hmm.
zero duration. And
Correct.
you know what also will be interesting, I just figured, like what happens right now with the smart vault. What happens if the borrower goes now and tries
Mm-hmm.
to do something like,
Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so let's click on the Liquid Smart Vault link. So here it will just open the Smart Vault unique identifier on the market, and it's going to load the information about that Smart Vault. Remember, guys, this Smart Vault, Liquid Smart Vault number one from this MetaMask ending in EB5 is the one that I,
okay,
if
so currently the owner, who's the owner?
the owner, it's this address 0x96FF ends in
You are not the owner
8585.
anymore.
I'm not
Once
the owner. Correct, because
you're not the
this
owner anymore
is,
because you put it on the market, which is
yeah,
a contract.
this is the address. And if you want to check this, which we should, you can go to scan that core down, and I'm gonna paste it in here. This it's the peer-to-peer lending mark. Is Did I did that right? Let me check. Da-da-da.
Where are we now?
Owner. Mhm. Yeah, this is the contract of the this peer-to-peer lending market contract. And I'm just looking for the tagline.
The what?
Mm.
Uh,
Here did
this is
mhm. Recall I used to see it like the title. I think we had that somewhere. But anyway, you can check this as the official contract, smart contract for the peer-to-peer lending market on Core with our in our website, in our documentation. It's very important always to do that. And the
what
important
are you
thing
going to
to
show now? Are you going to
Alejandro,
try to repay? Or are you going to try to do something?
yeah, I'm going
We
to
should,
repay.
I
I
would.
mean,
I
I
think we
want
should
the
show what happens if you try to. At this point, no one should be able to
like do something
take
with the
funds,
vault.
like transfer funds out of the vault.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let me. If I click here, reload, and this smart vault used to be owned by this address. Right now, it's on an escrow on the peer-to-peer lending market, but this were the three stake BTCs that this smart vault had, right? It also has some other assets, starting with Bitcoin that is not staked. This is the Bitcoin address of this smart vault. This is the EVM address, but I do not have a send button, a deposit button. In the case of Bitcoin, I don't have the stake button. So, and if you guys remember, this Bitcoin staked, this one number three here, had already expired. The redeem button is no longer there. So, what this means is the previous owner of the smart vault cannot change anything about it because it's on the escrow. The only thing that the previous owner can do at this time is to repay the loan before the time expires, right? If that doesn't happen, then whomever provided the liquidity, those 25 VLT core on the other side, meaning me with the OKX address will be able to claim that defaulted loan. So let's just go ahead. I'm going to click on repay. Then we're going to come here. We're going to refresh, and we should see the vault, the smart vault again in our control. All right. So I'm going to click on repay. You will repay using VLT core tokens. Proceed. We want to confirm that we want to do that. Here again, I get a spending cap again from MetaMask. I'm going to confirm. Okay, going to confirm to the transaction request. All right, success. It says, I can click here if I want, or I can come back here and just come back to my Smart Vaults portfolio. Actually, I can go directly to the vault. I had that in here. So I'm going to close this one, and I'm just going to refresh this, which is the URL of the vault. I'm going to give it some minutes so it loads and it shows again. So if I refresh here, it still shows the escrow smart contract address. So I'm gonna do one or two additional refresh until it shows that it came back to the original address that requested the loan, that made the borrow request on the peer-to-peer lending market. So if you guys have been using perhaps other peer-to-peer lending markets, there are different flavors, there are different approaches. We like this one. We like peer-to-peer. We like over-the-counter. We like do your own research, verify yourself on chain, everything that it's listed in here. Take responsibility and yeah, do something cool for some yield and some rewards with that VLT core that you might have from previous rewards and just from activity on the chain. Okay, while this loads, I don't know what's going on with my connection today. Let's go back to the lender side, right? Because two things happen when I repay. The smart vault comes back to the borrower, and of course, the lender gets back the asset, the 25 VLT core that he lent. Here it is. I just refreshed. This is the other wallet, OKX, and then in 923. And very important, at the top of the peer-to-peer lending market, you guys will see always when you have a pending balance. It doesn't go automatically to your wallet as a lender. You need to click to retrieve it from the escrow. So I'm going to click here on withdraw. There it is. And I'm going to click confirm to pay the market fee and pay the gas for that transaction. And I get this, I should get a message like this one. Funds withdrawn successfully, transaction ID XYZ, blah, blah, blah. Let's click on OK. And if I refresh, okay, there it is. I don't have any pending VLT core balance as a lender. So pretty nice. I just provided liquidity and I earned some VLT core on top of my VLT core. and I got the chance to get some Bitcoin and some assets on discount, because usually in this type of markets, loans are not under but over collateralized, meaning you should always provide liquidity for less than the actual value of whatever the a borrower is putting on the escrow. In this case, 25 VLT core was, I don't know, like 10%, or even it will be like a 10% loan on the value of that vault, around those numbers. And amazing. That's what we have for the lender side. And let's see if I go back to.
Yeah, I just realized. I mean, I was checking the RPCs that we are
Mhm.
using. So we are using three RPCs to pull the data from the CoreDAO
Yes.
chain. The official RPC
Uh-huh.
CoreDAO. We're using the one RPC IO and the ice cream swap
Hmm.
RPC. And I don't know, and the one RPC IO RPC is failing us.
Uh-huh.
So since we are getting them random,
Oh, okay.
so probably you're hitting that one, and that's why you need to like reload twice to actually.
Okay.
So we actually use one or the Cordao RPC or the ice cream swap RPC,
Okay. Thanks.
and pick the
Thanks.
other
That
one
makes a
down.
lot of sense. It makes so more work for us guys to make sure that we got you covered whenever we detect these things. We're working in all aspects to make the UX as smooth as possible. But thanks, Alerius, for clarifying that. So there you go, guys. Sometimes this is not perfect. I mean, we're all into Web3 because we are very excited, but sometimes our PCs can fail and stuff like this happens. So thank you.
Yeah, probably they are asking for an API key, and I just didn't configure that one. So let's stand back. So you provided core liquidity. You got back with an interest, so you effectively earn more core. But you didn't get the VTC because the borrower repaid the loan, right? But you got the interest, which
Correct.
is good. So if you're a lender, you win both ways. Like you can only win, right? You win the interest, or you get the discounted assets on the vault. And if you're a borrower, well, you are taking some risk because you are putting your assets as collateral. You are getting the liquidity, and you have the option to pay back. So that's how it works, right?
Exactly.
What else are we going to see?
Okay. Yeah. That's since we have some issues with one of the RPCs. We can go back here and show you guys that, of course, the Smart Vault went back to its original owner. Let's give it another try just to see if we, and let me know if you see an error with in the backend, just so whomever is connecting to our stream can check, and you'll be able to play and do a lot of cool stuff directly yourselves, guys. We'll be making some big announcements next week. Here it is. Smart Vault number one. It's back in my portfolio. If I click into it, let's cross fingers. We are not getting a faulty RPC. I think we did again. Okay, I'll leave this like this, and we will come back and check later. Oh, there it is. Finally. All right, it's back on on me. Here it is. The owner address is this one ending in EB5. Starts with 54. I have the pending staked rewards. Everything looks fine. I can, if I want, I can go ahead and claim the rewards, or I can delegate this Smart Vault to Vaulter for Vaulter to do it. I can redeem this BTC that which uh, its time lock expired. All right, I think we're good to go. So I think that's all for the whole workflow for core. I'm thinking maybe you want to show. I think I have. You know what? Let me get back to the OKX wallet. I'm going to reload this one just so we can show you guys what happens when you want to, as a lender. Okay, as a lender, you have many options. You can bid an offer, which we just did. You can also cancel that bid. But very important, if you want to cancel a bid, you need to wait 24 hours. And this is done to protect bidders. So there's no like some strange way to deny that borrower that loan request. So whatever bid you place, you can cancel it, but there is a wait time and it's 24 hours. And of course, you can also claim on a defaulted loan. Should we do that one as well, Alejandro? I think we only have 15 minutes left. Maybe we should switch
What? Already?
to,
No.
yeah, 45
Time
minutes.
flies. No,
Flew
no, no.
by.
Let's move to
Okay. All
cross
right. So
chains.
that's on Cordell. It's one of our favorites. It's our among our top favorite chains. They've been great to work with. Cortoshi is a great community. And where am I? Okay, this is MetaMask. Yeah. But we wanted to expand since we can. Why not do it? We wanted to expand the capabilities of the Smart Vault to other chains and offer them also that very nice access and visibility to Bitcoin on layer one to the biggest EVM chains. You will hear often a complaint if someone comes from, you know, X EVM chain that they like also Bitcoin. They started their journey on Bitcoin, but they don't like to bridge it. They don't like to wrap it. So we got you covered, guys. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to switch to the Arbitrum chain, which is an important Ethereum layer 2. I'm going to confirm the signing request. And I'm going to double check, always good to double check always, that in the wallet, you also change to that layer 2. So here, Arbitrum 1. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to click here on refresh. And we're going to give it some seconds, about a minute, for it to load. So I'm going to click here on Smart Vault's portfolio. And for this same address in MetaMask that ends in EB5, I'm going to load a set of Smart Vaults that were no longer minted in Core, but were minted in Arbitrum. You will still be able to stake Bitcoin or send Bitcoin and have a layer 1 in there if you want to. And that's going to happen on the Core DAO chain, of course. But if you don't have a Smart Vault, you can click here, mint new Smart Vault. If you guys notice, the gas changed from Core to ETH because ETH on Arbitrum is what you need to eventually mint the Smart Vault. And of course, again, important reminder, you're going to need some USDC and some ETH on that chain, right? We have some here. So if I want, I could be able to mint Smart Vault. You know what, guys? Let's do that very quickly, just to show you the full path. So I'm gonna click here in mint, and I'm gonna pay 0005 ETH on ARB, and there it is, minted Liquid Smart Vault 25. This is the transaction ID, and in the backend, it's creating a Smart Vault with a Bitcoin address, an EVM address that I can also delegate to Vaulter, that I can also use to stake Bitcoin on layer 1. And okay, I'm gonna click here on this one. And while this loads, going to refresh here. I'll just go back and see how we're doing with our landing side, which is this OKX wallet that ends in 923. And same thing. I'm going to now change to the Arbitrum change. Here, the vault layer is going to ask me to sign and confirm that change. And very important as well, I want to come here and double check that it correctly switched network. In this case, it stayed on the previous network. So I'm just going to click and switch to ARB. Okay, I see now the ARB button. And what happens if I go to the peer-to-peer lending V2 now on ARB? And I'm going to refresh this. And let's go back to MetaMask on Chrome. Here it is. And we're going to go to the peer-to-peer lending market. All right. Okay. This one, it's a loan that I did yesterday as a test. So we are going to skip for time purposes the listing. Again, this one was listed from the EB5 on MetaMask account, and we'll just jump directly into the repay part. I'm gonna click here to repay. I'm going to repay using USDC tokens. Here, I'm going to confirm the transaction request, the network fee. I'm going to click on confirm. It says successful. I'm going to close that one. And if I refresh in a little while, I should see that liquid smart vault now in Arbitrum, for which I previously had requested to use USDC, I can go ahead and make another loan request if I want to. Or I can use it for stake Bitcoin or whatever. And if I go back to the other browser, which is the one holding the MetaMask, let's go back to Brave. Here, I can also go to the, it was already loaded. This is what happens when you lend some asset. In this case, I lent 2 USDC for a particular liquid smart vault. This one didn't hold any Bitcoin. Oops. So I can just, if I want to, I can claim this one as defaulted, and it should become one of my smart vaults, basically. If this one had hold Bitcoin, I will have been able to, get that Bitcoin on discount, which is a use case that I know some of you will like very much, some of you degens. If not, if you're into DeFi, just the lend borrow and the liquidity providing should be able to cover you. And again, these APRs for the lend borrow market are driven for whatever the ask is on the borrowing side. The borrower always has the control of how much he wants to ask and the term of the loan. So let me get back to Chrome one more time. And we can do very quick. I think we have time to do another quick loan if this has loaded.
Okay, so if I am in Arbitrum, I can come to the market and provide liquidity in USDC, get some interest for someone that is getting a loan for Bitcoin. And if they default, I from Arbitrum, by providing a loan, could get access to the stake Bitcoin that is defaulted on those loans.
Yes, that and perhaps some other assets, stable coins, or even ETH that the smart vaults could be holding. But we care about Bitcoin and we care about Bitcoin staked on layer one, because that means that Bitcoin is not going to be moved out of that address that did the staking for 30, 60, 90 days. So we know that Bitcoin can only be accessed from the smart vault after the redeem expires. It can change hands if the smart vaults change hands, for example, through the peer-to-peer lending market. But yeah, it's right there on staked on the layer one through CoreDAO.
Right. So what it also means is people from these other chains can, um, because the smart vaults can hold multiple assets, right? Like the smart vaults are effectively cross-chain or multi-chain wallet, effectively, because they have assets. So a smart vault can have a mix of Bitcoin in layer one, VLT core on core, and they could have USDC on core or Arbitrum or whatever, any chains, right? But what that doesn't mean that the smart vault is on a chain, because the key to the smart vault is the NFT. So where the NFT resides, that's where I can use the market. So if I'm planning, so let's say, so if I'm planning to stake Bitcoin for a long time, like my full, like, you know, a big bag of my Bitcoin, I want to stake it on core. So I could, and I could think, okay, maybe in the future I need liquidity for this Bitcoin, and I need it in, I don't know, Binance chain. So what I should do is mint a new smart vault in Binance, put the Bitcoin there to stake in CoreDAO, get the yield for all that time, and if I need the liquidity, I take it to the Binance marketplace, and I get the USDC liquidity in Binance for my Bitcoin. And once I repay that, I get my Bitcoin back.
Yes,
That's it.
exactly. That's it. That's exactly how it is. All right. So finally loaded over here. So this is the EB5 MetaMask account that we have been using to do all this test, guys. And if you check, for example, the last smart vault that we just minted using USDC is this one, number 25. I mean, if your guys are listening to this as a recording, you can just go back a little bit and you will see that this one is the one that I just minted. But here I also have this one, Liquid Smart Vault number 3, which has some stake Bitcoin. It has 000181. So for this one, I could also come here, enter into the smart vault, and since this address owns this smart vault that has some Bitcoin staked, I can come and click here, use as collateral. Again, I'm going to agree to disclaimer. And here, if you guys recall, when we were on the peer-to-peer market on core, I could use VLT core, but here, since I'm connected to the Arbitrum chain, I can request for that stake Bitcoin. I can request, I don't know, let's say 20 USDC, which will be effectively around 20% bid on that stake Bitcoin collateral. I'm going to select again 100 APR for 1 day, and can come here and click list these smart vault. Now I'm going to get a withdrawal request. You're giving someone else permission to withdraw NFTs from your account. Yes, I'm interacting with beta.xyz with the peer-to-peer lending market. I can click here on confirm. I'm going to confirm the transaction. And of course, the transaction ID is going to change to whatever changes this peer-to-peer loan request happened, right? So I'm going to click here, and now I'm Arbitrum. This is the URL on the Arbis scan, where you can also check that the smart vault was transferred to a peer-to-peer on the market contract, which is the escrow. I'm going back to my MetaMask. I'm going to close this. And if I refresh, go back here to the peer-to-peer lending, that smart vault is no longer going to be, well, I could still cancel the loan, right? Because up to this point, there are 0 bids on the other side. Once a lender enters the game and bids this 20 USDC for this smart vault,
If there's a bid, you can also cancel. You cannot cancel once you accept the loan.
Exactly. And here shows 0.0, but it's just because we are having just one decimal. But we know that there was like 0.00181 Bitcoin stake on here. So if I come back to the lending side, I'm on Arbitrum. I'm double check. I'm in Arbitrum. I'm headed again to the peer-to-peer lending V2. And I'm going to wait for this to load. Oh, here it is. Inactive loans. Now I see Liquid Smart Vault number 3. Someone, which was me on the other wallet, asked for 20 USDC. I'm going to click bid to lend. I'm going to do a reverse auction because I want to be the best bidder. So I'm going to make this down to even 50%. Hey, borrower, I'm offering you half of what you're asking. I'm going to click place bid. And I'm going to confirm that I want to lend those 20 USDC to this borrower. Okay, there it goes, minus 20 USDC. I wait for the transaction confirmation. Here it is. I can click on it if I want. It will take me to the ARP scan. I'm gonna click on close. And as a lender, I can cancel, or as a bidder, you could also say, because of the reverse auction, you can cancel the bid, but you need to wait 24 hours for that cancel bid to become effective. So let me get back to the MetaMask, which is doing on Chrome, which is doing the borrowing side today. I'm going to refresh the peer-to-peer lending market page. And there it is. I can, again, accept this loan, or I can cancel the loan. Which one should we show? We already showed the accept loan on core. So maybe for ARB, we could just go ahead and accept it. We started by doing a repay. So we showed you guys how that works. So I'm just going to click on cancel. Let's say I change my mind. Just going to wait for that stake Bitcoin to expire, whatever. I don't need this 20 USDC anymore.
We should have done it with 0 times, so that it will be like a selling Bitcoin on Arbitrum with USDC in a peer-to-peer.
Okay, let's do that. Okay, this is the transaction ID for that cancellation. And let's do that very quickly to show you guys how that works. We were set for 1 hour, but it's just the two of us today. So I think we can expand and take a little bit more of everyone's time. I mean, when it comes to streaming, we know most people prefer to watch them offline, right? But I do see that many of you joined. So kudos to those of you that are live with us. And hit our socials, hit our Telegram. Questions welcome. Let us know what you think. Hit our DMs, hit our Twitter, guys. Retweet if you like what you're seeing. Follow us, and just keep an eye out and an ear out for next week that we will be putting opening the currently closed beta of the peer-to-peer lending market, the Bitcoin staking, the VLT core reward segregation, and of course, what most of you are waiting for the most, which is how to do this, all of this while you're away from keyboard with Vaulter. Okay. You know what? Let's do it from the portfolio. Let's enter the vault. It's sometimes quicker that way.
What are you going to
The
do?
instant sell.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
going to get again into the liquid smart vault number 3. And I'm going to do, instead of selecting 1, 3, 15, 90 days for the term, I'll just go ahead and put 0 interest. And yeah, I'm basically will be selling this smart vault, guys. This one.
Yeah. I'm thinking it takes a lot to show the assets summary in the list of smartphones.
Hmm.
We can just
Go ahead and
skip that and show the
yeah,
smart
let's do that.
in the no, I mean the previous screen where it's taking too long. That could be an improvement we can do.
Hmm.
Just thinking here now, seeing the whole flows,
Uh,
things that we can
all
improve.
right, so I got some stake Bitcoin here. I actually have some ETH, so about 5 USDC. So let's say I'm going to make a request for, I don't know, I want to give a big discount on this assets. It's going to be 25.
So it's like you're going to
Yeah,
sell your whole
exactly. This one, you can consider it a sell. So if I come here and I ask for 25 USDC, I'm going to select the lowest APR
it doesn't matter
and
because
sell, no repayment.
yeah, I think the APR in this case would not be
Hmm.
applied because since the loan duration is
Hmm.
instant, no interest,
So
and
if I click,
you won't be able to repay with interest.
all right, so I'm going to list, confirm, confirm. We're doing all this on MetaMask. Here's the transaction ID. I'm going to click on close, and I'm going to keep this open for reference, just so we can come here back and see when the owner of this vault address changes. And I'm going back to the lender side, which in this case not going to be a lender, but rather a buyer on Arbitrum. So I'm going to refresh the market. I'm no longer in MetaMask. I'm in OKX address that ends in 923.
Yeah, maybe for those ones we can create like a new section that is like instant buy or something to show
Mhm.
them separately.
I don't recall how much USDC I have, so going to withdraw this from the escrow first, and then I'm going to
Oh, wait!
use
But you're going to be the what the this is what the
this.
lender,
Yeah, the buyer in this case.
right? I think you can just why don't you try doing it like that?
Be-
Just with
yeah,
this
because
the
I
I think
need this USDC
yeah, but
first in my
think
wallet too.
I think the contract will try to use your balance, the balance that you already have there.
What I'm saying
Just
is
give
I'm
it a
not sure
try.
I have 25 USDC.
How much do you have?
Uh, Let me see, or maybe I do. I just want to have enough. Oh yeah, I have some balance. Okay. We
Okay.
can skip this part. Okay, thanks, Alejandro.
You're set on 25 on your mind.
I
Why?
don't know. I'm thinking. I'm thinking about quarters. Okay, guys. Let me see. I'm going to refresh this so I can bid for 25 for those for that liquid smart vault that was previously put on sale from MetaMask. Um, let's give it a minute. Seems
Just
like
reload again. We may be
okay.
hitting one of those
And
faulty
RPCs.
RPCs.
Okay.
Could also be, I'm looking at the connections. It's definitely we're not reaching some of those RPCs by some reason from our app.
Okay, let me click here. Going to refresh from the main windows, from the Smart Vaults portfolio, and then from there, I'm gonna switch back to the market.
Do you know that the loan ID on the
Um,
other
I
side?
yes. The loan ID. I should have taken note of it. You know what? I
No
think it's
worries.
in here. This transaction. Oh no, here this one doesn't expose the loan ID. That's not on chain. Yeah, it's 11. So again, as I went back to MetaMask. If I want, I could cancel the loan if I don't need this 25. But since we want to test the instant purchase, let's try one more reload over here on the OKX side. Okay, it's showing up now, and yeah, liquid
So how
marble
do we know
number
that it's a sell? Because the duration is 0,
exactly.
right? Yeah, we need to show this separately. Like show this is immediate. Like you're not bidding to lend, you're going to buy it immediately.
Hmm. So we
But
might.
still the other side needs to confirm, right? So this will be
Yeah.
like offering to buy, something like that.
Hmm. And I can either offer like I really much want this Marvelt,
But
like
in the case of a sale, the interest will not really matter
correct.
because the term is 0. If 0 days, interest is 0. Yeah,
Okay.
that's why I mean we need to show the ones that are for immediate sale, like less than a day. We should show them like a separate category and don't show the interest because it won't really matter. And this is just we are like the more general case is lend and borrow, but the lend and borrow with 0 time is effectively a sale.
Hmm. So you asked, some of you guys asked, like, hey, what if I don't want to do lend borrow? What if I want to do buy sell directly, peer to peer, stake Bitcoin on year one? Guys, we got you covered. And here it is.
So
This is
basically, we are selling our Bitcoin staking position in Arbitrum for
yes
USDC.
for USDC exactly. You can do it on core with VLT core. If you come from another one of the big EVM chains, you can also have that exposure to core to stake Bitcoin. And there it is. Transaction complete. All right, so let me get back here and check what we have covered today. So we didn't have any slides. We wanted to show you how to stake Bitcoin and use it as collateral on Core. If you are a lender, you have some Core, you can swap it to VLT Core from a Smart Vault and use it on the peer-to-peer liquidity market to provide liquidity for stake Bitcoin or even other assets. Get some Bitcoin on discount in case of default by the borrower. And if you come from Arbitrum, you can use USDC and get exposure to Bitcoin stake on layer one. You can also fund with Bitcoin your Smart Vault, and you can also provide liquidity on peer-to-peer lending market on that chain if you have stables and you want to get some access to Bitcoin on discount. And of course, we think that the future is cross-chain. We love to drive all this utility to the core ecosystem. And if you're coming from Arbitrum, we got your back as well. And we have more chains to be announced very soon. We're working hard to making your smart vault as as widely accessible for your convenience as possible.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Awesome. Yeah, no, I mean, we still have to polish a couple of stuff. Those RPCs. Um, Really, talking more general, RPCs are still one of those things that the whole Web3 relies on, right? And I think, we covered, if you go back to the use cases, you covered uh, like our whole thesis is represented here from Vault Layer, because Bitcoin is the gold, digital gold, that you get some yield and you hold long term, right? That you want to continue doing DCA with the older AI agent. You want to try to turn fiat into Bitcoin as much as you can in the long term. But at the same time, you want to keep it liquid in case, just in case that you need some liquidity to, buy a house or something. And once Bitcoin reaches billions, and all the governments are putting them on the balance sheet, and all the big corporations and banks, you want to keep your Bitcoin back for a long time, getting some yield, and use it as collateral. And the collateral, the loans, you want to use it where you need it, right? So you mostly will need it in USDC for doing some other shit and in other chains, and that get your Bitcoin back, right? So I think we really are here turning Bitcoin into liquid digital gold. So amazing to see here,
exactly.
to see all the vision come true. It's a great delivery, Juan. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Alejandro, for
Let's wrap it up.
and yeah. So Walter Bitcoin demo series. We're closing this streaming, guys. Stake Bitcoin layer one. Get liquidity in Core and USDC. On Core, stake Bitcoin and use it as collateral, or earn more for Core staking and get Bitcoin on discount. If you come from other chains, we're starting with Arbitrum. Get exposure to Bitcoin stake on layer one and use it as collateral, and get access to discount Bitcoin via peer-to-peer liquidity if you are into that as well. And as we saw today, we are also adding support for 0-day loans, let's say, which is effectively a sell, a purchase. So yeah, guys, if you like this, comment, like, retweet. Thank you all to those who join us live. Appreciate it. And stay tuned for our upcoming announcement and next demo series number 4, which is going to happen next Thursday. So I think that will be all.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, man. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Have a good one.
Cheers.